Hey everyone, my name is Simpsy, how you all doing? Welcome to episode 3 of my Total War Rome 2 DEI Divide et Impera Sulla campaign on the Mithridatic Wars scenario. The main objective of this series is to take Rome, which we've done, and ultimately defeat Marius and his loyalists. I hope you all enjoy. Alright, kicking things off here today, we're going to have a defensive settlement battle with Crassus, our first of the series, while Sulla is still trying to occupy Cisalpine Gaul in the north. We currently have 2 full legions in operation, still very much outnumbered. We've probably crushed 3-4 of Marius. They obviously start off outnumbering us at the start. We're starting to change the tide in this war by winning most of the battles and conquering more territory than them. We're coming up against a general called GAIUS. Now, I don't know which GAIUS this is. It could be Norbanus, it could be GAIUS Carinus, or it could be Censonorius, potentially. So, as I don't know which one it is, it's not actually Gaius Marius himself the Younger, because it's just not the same portrait. So, I thought what we'll do here today is talk about all 3 of these men. I can't remember, I can't remember the face matching this one, so, like when I played Marius's faction in my test playthrough. So let's talk about these 3 men in the context of Sulla's civil war. So Gaius Norbanus was a Roman statesman and military leader who lived during the late Roman Republic, who rose to prominence through his successful military campaigns and earned himself a reputation as a skillful commander. Norbanus was known for his exceptional loyalty to the Roman Republic and opposed the rise of authoritarian leaders such as Sulla. He was a staunch defender of Marius and his cause against Sulla. Gaius Carinus served as praetor, a high-ranking office for administration and justice. Carinus was known for his integrity and impartiality, and gained a reputation as a fair and just judge. He was widely respected by the Roman people, and his term as praetor was remembered as a time of stability and justice. Censorinus was known as a charismatic military leader who rose to prominence during the Social War, and played a crucial role in Marius' military campaigns, and really helped Marius to establish himself as a powerful figure in Rome. All 3 of these men, Norbanus, Carinus, and Censorinus, played important roles in the late Roman Republic, and helped shape the political and military landscape of the time. Although they had different political ideologies, each to their own, they all shared a commitment to the Roman Republic, and tried to bring down the dictator Sulla, and worked to protect, in their opinion, the interests and try to maintain the stability of the Republic. So overall, 3 interesting men in their own right. Hopefully we don't get the Gaius, who is the prominent military commander. Hopefully this is not Norbanus. Alright, back to the battle. So far, not overly too difficult this one. We've managed to funnel them into 2 choke points and we're holding quite well. It doesn't seem like the AI is willing to flank. We've still got our units there, but if we can lull them more into this choke points, we should be able to get them. But trying to push through this with cavalry and infantry, it's not going to work out. They are attacking at the end of the day, so they're going to hopefully just throw everything they can at us. We've obviously redeployed some of the units that were defending the back of the city. I was expecting a full-on encirclement and envelopment, but it seems like they're trying to pinch and punch on through. So the massive thing is, if we're successful here today, that's going to be Legion 4 or so down. Crassus should be able to march upon Sicily with impunity, and then the next big task is going to need to take place, as most of North Africa is under Marius and his loyalists' control, and also there is a fair few client and vassal states there. We've lost most of ours in the Far East. I gave up their security guarantees and independence. Pontus has just had a free range on them. Thankfully, cross my fingers, touch wood, that we don't have a war with Pontus soon. I've said it. That's broken habit. But yeah, I'm just still focusing every single resource, denarii, manpower on this civil war. Because once we solidify our position and bring the empire, well, I guess you can nearly call it an empire, because we're going to make it we're going to basically make him a dictator. we'll be able to launch other campaigns. But we'll see how we go. DEI is quite... The thing is, like, DEI battles campaign, they just go so much longer. So I have to justify more time throughout my day playing this mod. I really do like DEI, but sometimes it can be an absolute slog. I know that's the appeal, but as a YouTuber that has very limited time to record stuff, it's basically just taking away from other content on the other channels and stuff. But I do quite enjoy a solid DEI campaign from time to time, and I've also got to balance my personal life as well. But yeah, once we get rid of Marius, which still might take us a fair few more parts, like, I think that first episode went for an hour, which is really good. I try to make the first episode as long as I can, but that's edited down. This will probably be somewhere between 20 to 30 minutes. That'll be edited down as well. Sometimes the loading times can be quite significant, even just some of the boring maintenance stuff. So I try to play the battles in full, but some of the construction and maintenance stuff, sometimes I'd like to build it. Like, I like to go through and just like read, because like I play so many mods, like I just forget. I simply forget. Oh yeah, what's the building strat in this again? Oh yeah, I remember this now. I have to like go back and watch like the building layouts. But I'd be curious if we can defeat Mara. I don't know how long it's going to take. Should we continue this campaign in this alternative timeline where, if we win with Sulla, that is that we go away from the Republic turning into the Augustus / Julii Claudian Republic? Will we have a Sulla dynasty? Like, that'd be quite cool. Maybe if we win, like, Gaius Julius Caesar dies, alternatively. There, from what I remember, there's a pretty cool story where, like, they were going house to house trying to find Julius Caesar. When Sulla put his lists off, but he was protected with his comrades and was able to get out of the city. Yeah, I forget that Julius was Pontiff Maximus. I love that the Pope, who's like a pontifex on Twitter, like him and Julius Caesar had the same title at one point. I just find that funny. You forget that the Vatican not only stole a bunch of shit from the Romans, even some of the titles as well. Okay, so now, hopefully this can cause a mass panic and potentially a rout. But yeah, once we've got Sicily under our control, dude, trying to invade North Africa is going to be tough, and we still haven't got all of Cisalpine under our control, but even that, trying to take Massalia, I might even try and avoid it, because that can be quite difficult. If they're not because they're a client state of Marius, and we're still not at war with them. Yeah. I'm just trying to think, like, navally, moving into Iberia is going to be tough. Because Carthage is completely destroyed at this point. And most of Iberia is under their control. Okay, both sides are wavering now. But yeah, from your experience, what do you think is the strongest faction in this mod? Marius or Sulla? Obviously, I haven't played a full campaign. What would it be, like 30, 40 turns into this campaign? I don't know exactly. But I've played a lot more as... Okay, they're routing now, or they're done. We won. Yeah, I don't know why they just sort of threw themselves into the proverbial meat grinder. But yeah, I would say Sulla's campaign is definitely harder. I don't know. I think so. I think it's a lot easier with Marius. You have Rome. And you just have like a huge waft of territory, which is more conducive to defend, and you've got more military assets at your disposal as well. You might even arguably have better quality generals, command-wise. Obviously, Sulla has more generals that eventually become more renowned, like Crassus, Pompey, and Lepidus. But yeah, we'll just try and run down the last of them here. And then we'll make plans and preparations to pop on over to Sicily and see what's going on. Syracuse as well might be quite difficult to take. We'll see how that goes. That can be quite a complicated city. Hopefully there's no more legions hanging around here, because this legion has been there since the start of the game. It was you could see it from like the last couple of episodes. It was baiting and feinting back and forth, looking to push, but thankfully we were quick enough. We pushed to Beneventum, took Rome, and then we held in that position, and they never actually pushed forward until quite a significant amount of time later. It was like it was calculating that it's like, oh, it was interesting because we would have hit it if it tried to cross into Taurus of Beneventum from like two sides when we had two armies there. But Crassus, once again, has won a glorious victory for Rome. And Sulla's dictatorship, ultimately. Lepidus is starting to grow in confidence as well, to some extent. Alright, let's wrap things up there. Solid victory. There's even a rebellion outside. We lost the cavalry in one unit, but overall, a decisive victory for Crassus as they attacked us during the end turn phase. Nice, solid, warm-up battle. See if we get any other developments. Nope, it seems we're in the clear. Alright, welcome to the top of the turn. We'll get Crassus to give chase. And I don't think that rebel army is going to be strong enough to go against the garrison. Want to make sure we get rid of GAIUS here. A 4-star prominent commander has now fallen. Another one bites the dust for Marius. We've destroyed the army, so we'll ransom. And we'll quickly move north against the Samnite / Italian rebels that continually pop up. But they just chip away at your units and manpower as well. The rebels are a nightmare in this mod. So, okay, there's a navy there. So we should be okay. Let's get Crassus now to cross into Sicily. And we've got the money. We might as well get the mercenary unit in. And then we'll make plans and preparations to take them. We've got to watch out for that port, though. Oh, Pompey might be able to intercept. Actually, it's probably too large. Alright, back up north. What were we doing here? Oh, we were sieging, right. We withdrew because they attacked. We were chipping away at them. We've got Lepidus coming in here with more reinforcements. And we'll try and bring as many of these guys into Legion 1 now. Obviously, in the last episode, we did have a Pyrrhic victory. Most of the army was crushed. So we need to bring that in and then eventually phase out the mercenaries as well. They are quite expensive. DEI, you really don't want to... You only want to really rely on mercenaries in dire situations. You're better off having like proper Roman units if you can. But if you just need to quickly spam a bunch of units, get them in quickly, it's worth paying the money. But look at that. All of Cisalpine Gaul is under our control. Now, I'd be interested in peace. We're still not favoured to win this series. We're going to go through here now and disband some of the mercenaries. But, yeah, unfortunately, Marius, once again, isn't interested in peace. I would cease hostilities if we could, just so we can build up and repair. Alright. Oh, okay, it's not too complicated, which is good. Okay, okay. I thought, like, the siege of Syracuse could be. Crassus has enough. The garrison isn't too strong. And we've all... I think it's because the navy's not very strong there. Because Syracuse can be an absolute nightmare to take. Particularly... Or maybe it's just me overthinking it, because quite often it's held by a Hellenic faction, and pushing against hoplites is a nightmare. We're probably going to have that situation in Massalia now. So what's going on with them? We can't get military access with them. The thing is, they haven't been drawn into this war. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Last turn I was just talking about they haven't been joined in. Now that we border them in winter, they've declared war upon me. You got to be kidding me, man. Back down in Syracuse. Still sieging out. We're building up the navy after obviously spotting a large Marius navy. So Pompey needs to get back on the naval construction blitz. And unfortunately Massalia has come to war against us. So we'll try and take the port city. It's such a huge and strong city to take, but it's quite tough. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, we might actually lose Epidamnos to a quite large Illyrian rebellion. Oh, sheesh. That's going to complicate things. We might actually have to cede that territory to them. There's been another revolt here as well. Obviously constant as well. Because we haven't got an army over there. I've still only got 2 armies. That's all we can afford. Man. Okay, so they haven't actually taken the regional capital. Dude, that could cause an absolute nightmare. Let's negotiate with them. They're interested in peace, because usually they are if they rebel. Well, hang on a minute. They're getting me money. If you become a client state... they're not interested in trade. But they're interested in a client state. Well, look. You can be independent. The Balkans going crazy again. Yeah, we'll give them their independent... Oh, now they want trade. Okay. Yeah, and then we'll look to take it. Look, a little bit border gore-wise. A little bit yucky, but whatever. But, I'm just trying to think, like, if they're going to take all of Illyria with that full stack, and they might, more importantly, threaten Pella, or Apollonia, that would be more of my concern. Got some more rebellions we're going to need to bring down as well. We've got Lepidus recruiting a 3rd legion. Sulla, we could siege it, or we could maybe move here to try and draw that army out. I want to try... Yeah, I think if we can get out of the range of that garrison, that would be ideal. Maybe if we raid, they might bait them out, potentially. So, Sulla's pushing into southern France. Hopefully we can take Massalia, modern-day Marseille. Go with a raid. Try and draw them out. And we'll get Crassus to continue the conquest of Sicily. And then eventually, I guess, we get Lepidus to focus on Greece if a rebellion pops up. But we'll play this one here today. We haven't had an offensive siege in quite a while. So, Crassus will have the siege of Syracuse. And we've also built up an abundance of siege equipment. I found in this submod that you do need to siege for a couple turns in some of these big and larger settlements. So we've got 2 battering rams. Sorry, so 2 siege towers, 1 battering ram, 2 ladders. And we'll fight this one. Syracuse, pretty cool settlement. Obviously, culturally significant in the Punic Wars, siding with Carthage, being fiercely independent thanks to the aid of Pyrrhus of Epirus. But now if we can take it, it'll just be a vital supply lane with trade. And to be fair, at the moment we've been housing Sulla's royal fleet with Pompey in Taurus. It's like the strategical best place. But if you can get a full navy, potentially even a second, hold it in Syracuse. It's the heart of the Mediterranean. You can dominate trade. You can throw back any pirates. And stop any naval invasions into Greece and southern Italy, potentially. So we're moving on up. Crassus has destroyed a full stack here today. And now he can hopefully gain fame and infamy in offensive siege. Once Sicily's fallen under our control, I'll always be able to try and sue for peace with Marius if he's ever going to accept. I just think the relations are just seriously too soured. Unfortunately. But hey, the battering ram's now here. Let's try and break it down. We've got one of the weaker units just sort of taking the bait. The siege tower has been deployed. And the ladders are not too far away. Because we've been sieging for quite some time, we've actually managed to destroy one of the arrow towers. Oh! What's this? There's a hole in the wall. Oh, okay. Is this settlement bugged? Oh, okay. From that side it is. On this other side we're fine. Still trying to capture the gateway here and get on in. But then we've got Carthage to potentially take after this. And then... oh my god. Brutal warfare going on the wall here. Just shows the... Oh my god! Just Pullo going to town. You can just see like the massive equipment and armor dividing class between just some skirmishers there. And a proper, well-equipped, battle-hardened legionnaire. Okay, the gateway is now opened, so let's send our boys on in. And then, yeah, we'll get Sulla to once we take Massalia, which will be easier said than done. Yeah, if we can bait the army out, it should be okay. You never know, they might have another army. The garrison is quite big, you would imagine. And, look, it's Massalia, like, instead of, like, for example, if this entire roster inside this was replaced with hoplites on this difficulty, it'd nearly be nigh impossible to push on in. It'd be quite difficult. I always do fear offensively fighting siege battles with Greek or some sort of hoplite in. Yeah, I might need to submit a report here because some of the siege equipment is not going to work in those jutted areas. Okay. Well, you can't say you didn't learn anything from a CMC video. The siege of Syracuse is bugged a little bit on that side of the wall. Don't know why. But hey, please take into consideration as well that at the end of the day, this is still a beta. It's version 1.3.2 of DEI. However, the Mithridatic Wars as a pack is still in beta. So, I haven't read the bug notes for this, but that could be potentially it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you'd nearly be better off auto-resolving it then, or just moving to the other side. It's not that big of a deal. Alright, we're doing like well better over there because we're actually able to deploy. And what we'll do, once we win on this gateway, we'll swing on in and hopefully try and secure those capture points. Oh my god. A bunch of meat there in the gateway. Wow. I guess we are dragging forces, but we're not really pushing through there. Overall, we're not sustaining too much casualties. That one unit there, the lightly armoured one, is understandable. Two of the legionaries not too good. Balance of power is still in our favour. We're ticking along alright. Pushing over on that left-hand side a bit better. Let's drop and inspire and rally. Might even move the general up slightly to get some bonuses. Fighting over here, fine. But so far, we're winning quite convincingly on the battlefield. We're destroying legions left, right, and center. We're taking ground and we're holding it. However, we are like losing units, which can come as a bit of a cost. Thankfully, we're seriously only fighting on a one front. Apart from that rebellion in Illyria, which I think we've been quite lucky. Like, like I'm surprised they actually accept, because if they said no, Rome, they could have taken all of Illyria, maybe even taken some more chunks in Greece. That was really, really bad, that full stack. But that's what you got to keep an eye on. You got to sort of pick and choose your battles. Something I'd highly recommend for this campaign is try not to become treacherous. Try and keep your relations with other nations. Don't try and break them. Try and be trustworthy. Because what can happen when you're treacherous is that they can really gang up on you. Thankfully, you're not at war with too many factions either. And yeah, I don't see the bonuses unless you're like role-playing of helping those vassals in the Far East. Because like, look, they're paying me some money, yeah, but I'm not going to fight for Bithynia's independence. Look, later on it might be quite hard when we go against Pontus eventually, but that's still a little bit far off. But thankfully, we're not dealing with a war against them. Yeah, I actually don't know. I actually don't know how you win a war against Pontus and Marius at the same time. I guess you got to pick. Because, like, the further you go east, you're fighting potentially Seleucids and Egyptians and stuff. Be tough. But depending on your guys' support, I don't know how well this series is going to do overall, but I do think it'd be kind of cool doing a Roman, like, Empire campaign, for example. Building the Roman Empire in this alternative timeline. Having a imperial empire line of not like Nero and Augustus, Octavian, and just like having like a completely different imperial line from the descendants of Sulla. I think that would be kind of cool. And then try and build the Roman Empire to its historical height. Because I don't think if we win and we crush Marius, although Sulla retired and then it was like, you know what, I'm going to hang out on my farm until I die. I think we'll just go, yeah, we're going to make a imperial line from now on. I think it'd be kind of cool. Also, I wonder if there's a mod to like change as well the color. The blue actually doesn't look too bad though. Yeah, I'd be curious to know what you guys are playing. Maybe playing as Sulla isn't the more popular choice. I don't know. When I heard that like there was a Sulla versus Marius pick, I just instantly gravitated to Sulla. Even though Romans are red, I get that. Maybe it's the alternative timeline stuff that I'm interested in. I do quite like that type of stuff. I did like Man in the High Castle. People really didn't like that show. But it's slow. I'm not gonna lie, but I definitely liked it. I like the character and the characterization and sort of complex nature of John Smith. I'm not the biggest fan of the character Juliana Crane, but some people just couldn't stand her. But it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. I was kind of meh about it. There are a lot more interesting characters though in that show than others. Alright. So just need to make sure that doesn't get into the area. We've kind of bamboozled them a bit here because we're going to win on the countdown. We have sent a lot of soldiers to their death, unfortunately, but... Well, speaking of Man in the High Castle... No way! That looks like something. Oh my god. What are the chances of that? I've bamboozled myself there. What? It's a Hindu symbol, don't worry. Alright, should be able to wrap things up soon. Yeah, unless I make a mad dash here. No. GG's, Syracuse is now under Sulla occupation. Well, Crassus, but our faction. Anyway, it's probably time to wrap things up here today. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Stay tuned for episode 4 coming out soon. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to see more from me, check out the videos on screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.